Alright there you guys again, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm going to be officially updating you currently again on some more latest news. Press that like button, subscribe to my channels as always, Boy Davenport. The rumours that have been going on now in the last yesterday reports were suggesting currently about Kylian Mbappe. Reports have suggested it had been stemming from Spain that they had currently agreed a deal in principle for Kylian Mbappe. Monaco perspective, they had currently rejected this basically and said they have not agreed a deal. This was including a staggering £160 million, which will become one of the most world's expensive young teenagers. This is also involved in potential add-ons, which is around £20 million, which will be the appearances and performances. Also a £7 million salary. So it's going to be more than the initial £160 million with the add-ons as well. And it's going to be currently a current payment structure. If this deal does currently get finalised, it is going to be the world's most expensive teenagers. He is one of the highest prospects in world football. We know before teams have tried making negotiations with Monaco, who have found it difficult. We know we've been in there for him. Arsenal have had a couple of bids being rejected for him. They've been in the pursuit of getting Mbappe on the board. Liverpool have been in there for him. Numerous teams he has currently attracted the interest of, and Real Madrid are now confident they can secure a deal. They've raised money, just like Monaco have raised money. Real Madrid have raised over 90 million. Monaco have raised basically around 300 million. So if they're to offload Kylian Mbappe, if they were basically to offload Thomas Lemar, you'd be talking over £500 million they have gained in funds, Monaco. And Monaco have been reluctant to sell. He's basically said they've sanctioned it off, basically saying he is not for sale, and they are reluctant to sell these players, which is Thomas Lemar and Kylian Mbappe. They are reluctant to sell these players. We know in this entirety of this transfer window teams have been in for him. We know in the entirety of this transfer window teams have spent money so far. It all started really when Lacazette got the signing of Arsenal, and then since then, West Ham have spent money, Chelsea have spent quite a bit of money, City have spent over 200 million on players. Who else? City, Chelsea, Arsenal, I think as well. So for that price, you can get 7 or 8 players. You could even get a new 11 with that staggering amount of money. But you can understand my way want to go to Real Madrid. I think he's adamant that he does want to make the move. We know for the entirety of the transfer window, they've looked to raise these funds. With Eden Hazard, that's been one of their main priorities. Obviously, they've offloaded Morata. They've gained funds for that. They've offloaded Rodriguez, and they've offloaded Danilo as well. Wait there. But we were reporting yesterday that there's now City and Real Madrid in the race. He's a Real Madrid fan, I think, as well. He's Kylian Mbappe. City have been in the race to get his signature. They've offered a staggering £143 million. If they got this deal finalised, that would be their 6th significant signing, and that would be over £400 million spent from Pep Guardiola this summer if they were to get him on board. I can't see Manchester City possibly getting him on the board. They've got the likes of Aguero, they've got the likes of Gabriel Jesus at their club, so I really can't see Manchester City getting him. They have been in negotiations in the last 24 hours of Manchester City and Monaco. I think Real Madrid have had negotiations with Monaco to get the landmark of Kylian Mbappe on the board. He's a fantastic goal scorer. He's very, very prolific. He's a player that leads the lines fantastically well. He's a player that got 29 goals in all competitions last season. But people are judging one player after an outstanding campaign. He is a fantastic player. That's why he's attracted a lot of interest. But Monaco don't want to sell a lot of their players, as I keep saying. They've lost Silva, they've lost Bakayoko, they've lost Benjamin Mendy, who were the crucial targets that got them to success last season. And it's also beneficial to have a good history behind you. You know, if you've got a big fan base, you've got a good history, and you're a big, massive club like Real Madrid, you know, Manchester City are a good team now, but they haven't got a very, very good history. The stadium's okay, but Real Madrid have got a fantastic fan base. They're probably one of the best clubs in the world. You know, they've won Champions League 12 times, so I think Mbappe is adamant basically that he does want to make the move. I think Monaco may be standing firm, but basically they don't want to lose the best players. They'll have to find them individual replacements, but it's hard to turn down £160 million, which is a staggering amount of money, and it will be absolute Astro Monaco business if it gets done. There's a lot of youth out there. There's a lot of young players out there that are well talented, such as Ousmane Dembele, even Rashford for Manchester United. You know, I don't think any team would even dream of paying that staggering amount of money. I think people are just judging Mbappe after an outstanding campaign. But this is also very positive news, because this significantly now means we could, if Real Madrid get the pursuit of Mbappe, we could get Gareth Bale on the board. There's been talks about this. Jose Mourinho's basically disregarded it. He basically doesn't think it will possibly happen. He doesn't think Gareth Bale has any intentions of leaving. But Gareth Bale's a player that's got tremendous speed, very good in the air, drives forward fantastically well, very, very skillful, can cross a ball into the box. And that was the world record signed back in 2013. Tottenham had signed it. Real Madrid had bought him for £90 million from Tottenham. But look what he's achieved. He only hasn't had the game time because he's been injury prone. We have been for Gareth Bale before in the past, but we didn't get him. But I think he may be considering a move. Real Madrid now can afford to offload him if they want to get Mbappe on the board. Absolutely love Gareth Bale. You know, he's definitely comparison to even Perisic in every single way of his game, shape and form. Him, Benzema, Ronaldo combine fantastically well. But this could significantly mean we could end up forking out 70, 80, 90 million pound for Bale if he does come available. But basically, the rumours stemmed from that time. He's also Premier League proven. The rumours stemmed from that time basically when if he was going to be dismissed for the Champions League final, Bale, and he wasn't going to get in there, he was thinking about departing Real Madrid and coming to the Premier League, and I think Manchester United were currently his current chosen destination was Gareth Bale. But they need to offload Bale because Mbappe is not going to get guaranteed that first team football. He's not going to get guaranteed that first team football if you've got the likes of Ronaldo, if you've got the likes of Benzema, if you've got the likes of Bale there. He's not going to get guaranteed first team football. So they need to offload the player, raise more of the funds so they can afford the price of Mbappe, and then they can significantly get Mbappe on the board. To me, it's good for us if we get Bale out of it. For Mbappe, from his perspective, he's still only young, he still needs to gain more experience. He's a player that still needs to express himself more in a few-year period. I would stay with Monaco maybe at least another year. They've been in talks about extending the contract with Monaco and Monaco about extending Mbappe's contract and also keeping Thomas Lemar as well. But we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. You never know what could happen. There's a lot of dramatic U-turns in this transfer window. What's bloody going on? My battery's low. There's a lot of twists and turns to come, but I think Mbappe wants to go to Real Madrid. We know Monaco have raised funds. We know Madrid have raised funds, but this is staggering amounts of money. And you look back in the years with Luis Figo world record, with Cristiano Ronaldo back in 2009 world record, Bale 2013 world record, Pogba for us last summer 89 million. That's going to become a bargain in a few years' time. You know the way this transfer window is currently going at the moment. So yeah, really, and he's definitely comparison to Perisic. I would prefer him over Perisic any day of the week. And the latest news about Perisic, we're not really getting anywhere with Perisic at the moment. Inter Milan are still demanding that £48 million currently that Di Marzio had announced, and they're looking basically for an alternative replacement for even Perisic. The manager of Inter Milan is still very has a lot of time for him. He said he's still a very, very important figure for Inter Milan and the club. He's still basically forcing the way out is even Perisic. He still wants to come to Manchester United, but obviously the Inter Milan directors have poured cold water on the speculation and they are resisted and reluctant to basically any offer. We've had currently a couple of bids rejected for Perisic in the past as well. We expected, the way it had been speculated on Monday, we expected it to be announced. Then it went to 48 hours it was supposed to be announced, and then didn't get fully announced, as he went currently on the China squad with rest of the Inter Milan squad. And you could see with the Instagram, was it, the evidence basically behind it, that it looks very, very unsettled with Inter Milan. And Edward was gone on these tours to try and get the deal finalised also. But this is what Di Marzio had announced. They still want that price tag. I did say even Perisic is not worth that kind of money. He is highly experienced. He's a player that's good. He had a standout, fantastic campaign with Inter Milan last season. He can cross a ball into the box also, can even Perisic. It could still happen, but they're still trying to find that alternative replacement. And he's 28, 29, so he's highly experienced as well. We need that. We need more high experience in the team. With the agents, even tried to talk to the Inter Milan officials to try and get the deal currently finalised. But we're struggling at the moment. We're struggling to get the deal finalised, as he's tried to accelerate the move more when he demanded that he had a dental problem, went to his local dentist to get treatment, trying to accelerate the move. And it looked realistically like it was basically going to happen. But Inter Milan are delaying it at the moment. They want that alternative replacement, and basically he is comparison to our winners is even Perisic, to be quite fair. We need that dedicated width, and to be quite fair, we're not going to let Martial go no matter what. We're not going to let Martial go. He's still improving in his game. He will get better. He hasn't been himself since he lost that number 9 role, but we know numerous teams, he's attracted interest of numerous teams, but Mourinho just can't see him. Whatever the consequences are, I don't think he will sell Antonio Martial, and he's been part involved at the Perisic deal apparently. So we'll have to see what happens. Any more news? Yes, Matic looks realistically close now. Di Marzio, the Italian journalist who's very reliable when it comes to this, to be quite fair, he hasn't done very, very well so far. We're getting deals right in this transfer window, but I still have a lot of truthworth behind him. He's announced that we are very, very close now to signing not even Perisic, Nemanja Matic on the board. He wouldn't be one of my favoured options. He's a player that's got reservations. He's a player that's slow. He doesn't have much tempo to his play. He wouldn't complement in the midfield your likes of, Herrera, your Pogbas and all that, because we've got a static midfield at the moment and we need that centre-defensive mid. He doesn't complement your Nainggolan's, who we're basically not going to get now. Nainggolan's a player that's a very dynamic midfielder who I would like. I think he's been in talks with Inter Milan or someone else, but it looks like we're not going to get him on the board. But if we do get Matic, we do get Matic. Mourinho's basically looking for that reunion, because I think he bonded fantastically well with him at Chelsea. He has won honours with Chelsea. He has played in a key part with Kante in that middle of the park. Currently the player who's been at Benfica, he's been at Vitesse in the past as well. Currently Juventus have also been in advanced discussions to try and capture him as well. But I don't think it's gone to plan. I think now Juventus have looked more into getting Matuidi from PSG, so yeah. And we've also had a couple of bids rejected for Matic in the past. Abramovich, the current owner of Chelsea, has done the green light. He's sanctioned it off, saying it's £50 million. Are we paying the £50 million? Is that the £50 million price tag? Chelsea rated him as a £40 million player, Matic. He wouldn't be my first choice. He hasn't been training with the Chelsea squad. He's currently been training on his own as Nemanja Matic. So he looks realistically the next signing that's going to come in with Manchester United. He's considered that he does want to make the move to Matic. So realistically now it looks like it's going to happen. Also with Renato Sanchez, who I do really, really like. His glowing reputation in the European Championship was absolutely fantastic. He's a player that's been at Benfica. He's been at Bayern Munich. Carlo Ancelotti, who is a very fantastic manager. He's got a fantastic pedigree as Carlo Ancelotti. I would have liked him at Manchester United, to be quite honest with you. He's a manager that's been at Real Madrid in the past. He's been at Chelsea in the past. And currently he's got a few signings on the board as well. But Renato Sanchez... Kylian, what I had quoted out, he was considered that he did want to leave. He was willing to let him leave Bayern Munich because his expectations, basically, Renato Sanchez's was to get the first team football, participate more in the squad, as he basically hasn't done with Bayern Munich last season. He only made 17 appearances, no goals, no assists with Renato Sanchez. But yeah, basically, there's been talks about it. Basically, now AC Milan could be in the pole position. Basically, it hasn't been a main priority for Jose Mourinho, but we could now basically miss out on getting Renato Sanchez. I think AC Milan have been in advanced talks, who are doing well in this transfer window with Bayern Munich, and I think that's Renato Sanchez's preferred option. Is going to AC Milan. He's been guaranteed. He's not going to get enough minutes under his belt. He's still only young. He still wants that first team football, does Renato Sanchez. He hasn't been a main priority for Mourinho. Mourinho was keen on getting him. He's a player that's versatile. He can play on wide roles. He's good at going forward. His performances in Euro were absolutely fantastic. But he hasn't really had the chance at Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich are a big, massive club. They've got a fantastic history also. And you'd expect him with a level of that club for him to get a first team football. But if you've got in the mix in that team, James Rodriguez, you've got Vidal and a few other players they've got in, it's going to be hard for you to get off the bench and get the first team football. But comparing him to Matic, I do potentially think he is a better player than Matic, if I'm going to be quite fair. But obviously Matic is more highly experienced because he's a much of an older player. He is about 28 now, is he? 29. He's done well for Serbia also as Nemanja Matic. But comparing them two, I think Sanchez's style of play is better. He performs better in the games, but obviously Nemanja Matic has been there. He's done it. He's very, very highly experienced. So I would prefer Sanchez over Matic, but I don't think we're basically now are going to get Renato Sanchez on the board, which is a very, very disappointment. The realistically one now looks like Matic. And also there's been rumours now about Philippe Coutinho. He has agreed terms and he's agreed a deal to join Liverpool. The player, I think that's been at Inter Milan as well before. He's currently scored 13 goals, was it last season, for Liverpool. He currently operates in that number 10 role. But according to reports at Barcelona, the heavyweight giants have agreed an initial deal for, is it £89 million? Liverpool are still sanctioning it, basically quoting out saying he's not for sale. But that's a hard bid to reject, which is £89 million. I think they've initially had a £72 million bid rejected for Philippe Coutinho. I think he's just only previously signed a 5-year deal with Liverpool as well. I think he's adamant, Philippe Coutinho, that he basically does want to leave Liverpool. And could this basically play a part basically now in basically what Neymar does with his future? I think that could be announced later today, could be announced tomorrow morning. But everyone's been involved with the Neymar case. We know Ronaldo's had his opinions on it. Gerard Piqué's had his opinions on it. Ronaldo's persuaded him to basically stay, but if he's that desperate to leave, he basically told him to come to Manchester United. As I said, Gerard Piqué's had a say on it. But Neymar signed a 5-year contract back in October. The speculations have been going on now for the last week since it had broke out about reports. I'm not sure, but Neymar suggested Barcelona in general were confident. The club president were confident he was still going to be staying at Barcelona. He's got a strong relation with Messi, and this is a £220 million deal. So, or could basically now Verratti be involved in the situation? Verratti's just had Raiola as his agent. He sanctioned his other one. That were signal signs that he could possibly join Manchester United. Barcelona have held talks with him. He's a player that I do really, really love. He's competitive, he's very tenacious, he's good at breaking up the play. Sorry guys about that, I was interrupted as my battery died. As I was saying, Verratti, very good, strong, quick, good at breaking up the play also. But this could be part to do with the Neymar deal, which would be 110 million. Plus Verratti, who's probably rated as a 70, 80, 90 million pound player with his current performances with PSG. But could this Philippe Coutinho play a huge part if he goes to Barcelona? Could this play a huge part of what Neymar does with his current future? This is absolutely astronomical business if PSG get this over the line. With Sanchez as well, including the agent fees, including the wage as well. What are you doing?
There's a card downstairs from Junior and Josh.
Yeah, no, I've been round.
Alright. Did he give you?
No, they're going to do. Shadsy's going to do.
Alright.
So, guys, let me know if do you think this deal's going to prove through with the Neymar case. I think it's going to be fully announced maybe tonight or tomorrow morning. The PSG owners have been in talks with Barcelona. The chairman's tried to get the Neymar deal done. The current director's tried to get the Sanchez deal done. He could still go. He may be adamant that he still wants to stay with Barcelona. He's been there several years. His performances in Brazil have been fantastic. He's won mighty honours. He's probably one of the most efficient players in world football, is this player. PSG, Cavani's also had a say on the situation as well. You've got the likes of Dani Alves there. You've got your likes of Thiago Silva, who are his current Brazilian teammates, Neymar's. So I think Barcelona are basically leaving the decision to him. I think they have been talking to Neymar with his next possible destination, which looks like PSG. He may not want to leave. He still may want to stay with the club. But this is absolutely astronomical business if this deal does get finalised. And also with Sanchez, as I keep saying out, this is going to be, he's returning to training on Monday. There's going to be discussions going on what is currently going to be happening with his current future. Only Arsene Wenger's only demanding him to pay him a £275,000 a week contract. He's demanding £400,000 a week. There is teams out there that are capable of paying that. He is coming to an end of his contract. He was basically adamant he wanted PSG to pay £500,000 a week for him, but they were willing to pay the £400,000 a week. And they were willing to prepare to pay over a 40 million bid for Sanchez. Arsene Wenger has no faith in the media. He has no faith whatsoever. He's mistranslated everything. He's poured cold water on the speculation. He's standing really, really firm in this. He's being ruthless. And the speculation's been going on since the day Sanchez said, my future has been decided, but I can't tell you. He's had that interview. He's had that current interview saying, I want Champions League football. Wenger stood firm. He's had a few press conferences and he's basically mistranslated everything. And he's still confident Sanchez will stay to sign another deal with Arsenal. I think he feels unsettled. Arsenal, if he didn't want to go to PSG, why would he be in a meeting with the director, his agent and himself, discussing things about a potential move? But this is going to be... This is, for the Neymar case, €220 million, which is about 196, 197 million pounds sterling. Plus, add that on to Sanchez as well. That's probably going to be, plus the agent fees and the wage, that's going to be over probably £400 million. That's going to be over £400 million. A PSG are going to will to pay that if they capture Sanchez, if they capture Neymar as well. Neymar doesn't know what to do. He's told his friends he wants to go to PSG. But the other side of the coin, he's basically said a few things that he still wants to stay with Barcelona. He said he was happy at Barcelona. So he also did he tell Messi Suarez that he was going to be staying at Barcelona also? So it's changed. The narrative keeps changing basically every single day about what's going to be happening with Neymar's future. But a staggering amount of money, for the Mbappe case, which is, it's a bit of a majority difference. But Mbappe is 18, Neymar's 25, so Neymar's more highly experienced. Mbappe hit the scenes in the Champions League last season, hitting fantastic form, but I think it's a bit silly judging one player after an outstanding campaign. And teams are willing to pay it. City are willing to pay 143 million. Real Madrid are willing to pay 160. This is including add-ons as well, so it's going to be potentially nearly touching £200 million. So this is a heck of a lot of money to pay for this player. And what's the other latest news I'm going to update you on? Let's think what the other players as well. What were the other players now? Forgot. We've had Matic. Eric Dyer was a target for Mourinho. He was willing to double his wages, offering 50-60 million. We've had bids rejected, but Tottenham are resisted. They're reluctant to sell Eric Dyer. He's a player, he'd be my preferred choice over Matic any day of the week, but we know Mourinho likes to go with tall players. He's got a good pedigree, he's proved it in the past with Chelsea. He likes to get tall players in, especially with centre-backs as well, does Jose Mourinho. But it probably, I don't think we're going to get Eric Dyer, so it does look like it's going to have to be Nemanja Matic. So we're desperate to get that signing on the board now. Also, Vidal would be fantastic, but Carlo Ancelotti's admitted he's basically sanctioned it. He's basically saying he's not for any possible sale at all. He's quoted out, Vidal's not for sale. He said with Sanchez, he'd be available for £43 million. I did say it'd be essential. Maybe Mourinho gets him on a loan deal to see how he expresses himself, to see how, with how young he is. But it looks like AC Milan are going to get the landmark signing of him. But with the Mbappe, yes, it's going to be add-ons. It's going to be a 6-year contract as well. And this is going to be a payment structure to see if he leaves, how he progresses with Real Madrid or whatever team he does go to. And we know with Sanchez, City are also interested. He's Pep Guardiola's number one solution. They've bonded fantastically together in the past at Barcelona. We know Manchester City have got that interest in signing Alexis Sanchez. We know Bayern Munich have been in there for Alexis Sanchez. City, they've got a lot of top class players now. They've spent money. Would they initially need Alexis Sanchez in their squad? Because to him, 3 FA Cups is basically not enough for a player of his calibre. One of the best players for Arsenal, but we know City have been in there with a current shout as well for Alexis Sanchez. But he wants Champions League football. Arsenal have not got it. This is the first time in 20 years they have not got Champions League football, and this could go against them big time. And I know with the Fabinho, I said with City signing Mendy, that could jeopardise the deals for Arsenal getting Thomas Lemar. Definitely us getting Fabinho, anybody else getting Fabinho. I think Fabinho will end up staying at Monaco. He's options out there. These teams that have been out for him. But Monaco don't want to lose a lot of the best players. They've already lost 3 with Fabinho. Good, fantastic player. Di Marzio announced we were close. Got it wrong again. It ended up going... the transfer basically got inflated. Monaco were willing to keep him. They had options out there. They had... Atletico Madrid, City had been in there, we'd been in there. It was close, we was going to get him, but realistically now, looks like we're not going to get Fabinho. Either he'd be a creative hole in that midfield, but looks like that's not going to happen now. So we'll basically have to settle with Nemanja Matic. Anything else to update you with? But Bale, yes, could be still possible. I'd absolutely love the likes of Gareth Bale to come to Manchester United. What a player he would be. The honours he's won, the goals that he scores when he's not injury prone, his performances with Tottenham, his Premier League proven also. So fantastic player, Gareth Bale. I'd love him at Manchester United, and it would be a fantastic. Do you think with the Coutinho deal, do you think that could affect what Neymar does with his future? Maybe not. I may be wrong. It may not affect what he does currently with his future. But we've still got a good team. We've still got Rashford in there. We've got Martial, can play well. Rashford's growing, developing into his game fantastically. We've got Herrera there, who's a fantastic player. They've been in talks about extending his contract. We know Barcelona have had an interest in Herrera. We've still got good players in that team, but what concerns me is the midfield and that currently dedicated width. Anything else to currently update you guys on today? But there's players being it in these forms, in these pre-season games. Lingard's been it in form. Mkhitaryan's been it in form. Rashford's been it in form. Lukaku's been doing fantastically well. But then Jose Mourinho's going to have an idea what team to play, what his best starting level will be, what his best tactical formation game plan will be, and that. It's always very, very essential. Anything more to update you on? I think I've done most of the transfer rumours now. But the Kylian Mbappe, I'm going back to that. It's a big, massive, huge story. We know Real Madrid have been interested in getting a few strikers on the board. It wasn't basically one of their main priorities. They'd had an interest, but Kylian Mbappe had quoted out before if he was to leave Monaco, Real Madrid would be the next team he would currently go to. His performances for France have also been fantastic as well. Kylian Mbappe, also Ousmane Dembele, also his performances have been fantastic. But as a young player, that is a hell of a lot of money to pay for that. City are capable of paying it. Real Madrid are definitely capable of paying it. But with the Matic case, as I said, Chelsea have paid 40 million for Bakayoko. They've got Rodiger at centre back. They've got another player in as well. Yes, Morata. So that 40 million they paid for Bakayoko, they're looking to get that back in funds for Nemanja Matic. So he's not worth £40 million. I'd rather pay 40 odd million for Renato Sanchez than Matic. I'd rather probably pay 40 odd million for Eric Dyer than Matic. Nainggolan, you probably get him for £40 million, but he's probably currently not even coming now anywhere. So that is a huge disappointment. Anything else to update you guys on today? Liverpool have also been in advanced talks to try and capture Naby Keita. They've currently had a few bids rejected from Naby Keita as well. So that I think they're reluctant to sell him. I think the saying is the 48 million release clause can't be activated. They may have to look at him maybe in this in January or something like that for the player. There has been in negotiations, but he reported that they're reluctant to currently sell Naby Keita, who's another dynamic midfielder who would be fantastic, but we're initially not in for him. But in his transfer window so far, the surprise ones, I'm surprised Javi Hernandez did go to West Ham. I'm surprised that Everton have made 6 or 7 signings. They've spent over £100 million easily on players. That's Ronald Koeman's target, to get them back to the challenging, maybe going for Champions League or getting in the top 5 or trying to gain some silverware. Rooney's on form at the moment. He's currently scored 2 goals already, or 3 for Everton so far. He thinks they can gain silverware with Everton Rooney. But City will be classified as one of the favourites, with Benjamin Mendy, who's a player that he drives forward well. He's fantastic height advantage. He's a fantastic player and he proved a point last season in Monaco. Bernardo Silva, a good player. Kyle Walker's a fantastic player. Supposedly the best player for England last season. Tottenham did generate the funds. There was reluctant that they was going to sell him under £50 million, but if City were going to pay only 40, but as they missed out on Dani Alves, which was a main target for Pep Guardiola, they'd been very, very frustrated. They didn't want to lose out on another priority target, which was Kyle Walker, and they'd been in discussions for months and months about getting that deal over the line, and they currently have got the deal over the line. I don't think Tottenham still have not made a signing yet in this current transfer window. They haven't made any signings whatsoever. So they're still relying on making their first real signing at Tottenham. But the transfer window is livening up now, and with the Thomas Lemar case, Tottenham, they may be reluctant to sell him. They don't want to lose Lemar. They don't want to lose Mbappe. They don't want to essentially lose both of their players. So they're going to have the money to replace him. But, it's not always about the money, getting into the club. It's about keeping your best players when it really, really matters. Lemar, they'd had a couple of bids rejected Arsenal, as I said earlier. I think it's now a 50 million bid plus add-ons. I don't know if have personal terms been agreed for the player. Is Thomas Lemar willing to leave the club? He's a player that's very, very good though. He's good at driving forward. He's skillful. He's quick. He can feed balls into the box, and he's good at physical, going around defenders. But he said Arsene Wenger may soften his stance if he does get Thomas Lemar on the board. But I think Monaco have sanctioned that, basically saying the player's not for sale. They were demanding a 70 to 80 million price tag at one point for Thomas Lemar. He's still another young athlete. Is this Thomas Lemar? So Arsenal want him. They've wanted him for quite a while. They have wanted him for quite a while, of Lemar. But Chelsea have been frustrated with the lack of investment in the transfer window. Now they'll feel calm and more composed and more confident in themselves. They've got Morata. But they inquired about getting Danilo, didn't work. I think they made inquiries about getting Benjamin Mendy, didn't work. City also had to go over the line to get Mendy because they set a price tag out of £50 million. So there you go, that's how the transfer window goes. So anything else to update you guys on today? Anything else to update you guys on today? But yeah, I do think maybe now Real Madrid may get a deal over the line for the player. I think he's adamant now he wants to leave. Monaco are in discussions to try and basically persuade him to stay at Monaco, but he may want to leave. For me, it'd be good signing for me if we do if we benefit from it and get Gareth Bale out of it. But we may not get Gareth Bale. Jose Mourinho's disregarded it and disregarded the way how confident that he was with David De Gea staying. So it may happen. We're capable of paying 70, 80, 90 million pound because he's a player that's fantastic. So we'll have to see. Anyway, guys, that is currently every single thing to update you with today. Drop your comments and likes below on the video. Subscribe to Chazzaboy Davenport as always. And I'll take it easy. I'll see you later on, guys. Bye.